कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी। यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, श्री निताई गौर सुंदर की, पतित पावन शिला प्रभुपाद की. Text number 22, 23. Studying from Gantra Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 4th, Chapter number 11, entitled as Swambhu Manu advises Dhruva Maharaj. Text number 23. Gantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayesva Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Text number 23. Avyaktasya prameyasya nanasakti avyaktasya prameyasya avyaktasya prameyasya nanasakti udayasya cha nanasakti udayasya cha न वै चिकीर्षितं तात न वै चिकीर्षितं तात को को वेदाथ स्वसंभवाम् को वेदाथ स्वसंभवम् अव्यक्तस्य प्रमेयस्य नानासक्ति उदयस्य च न वै चिकीर्षितं तात को वेदाथ स्वसंभवम् अव्यक्तस्य प्रमेयस्य नानासक्ति उदयस्य च न वै चिकीर्षितं तात को वेदाथ स्वसंभवम् व्यक्तस्य प्रमेयस्य नानासक्ति उदयस्य च न वै चिकीर्षितं तात को वेदाथ स्वसंभवम् अव्यक्तस्य प्रमेयस्य नानासक्ति उदयस्य च न वै चिकीर्षितं तात को वेदाथ स्वसंभवम् अव्यक्तस्य प्रमेयस्य नानासक्ति उदयस्य च न वै चिकीर्षितं तात को वेदाथ स्वसंभवम्. Word for word meaning: avyaktasya, of the unmanifested; aprameyasya, of the transcendence; nana, various; sakti, energies; udayasya, of him who gives rise to; cha, also; na, never; vai, certainly; chikirsitam, the plan; tata, my dear boy; ka, who; veda, can know; atha, therefore; swa, own; sambhavam, origin. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: the absolute truth, transcendence, is never subject to the understanding of imperfect sensory endeavor, nor is he subject to direct experience. He is the master of the varieties of energies, like the full material energy, and no one can understand his plan or actions. Therefore, it should be concluded that although he is the original cause of all causes, no one can know him by mental speculation. I'll repeat this. The absolute truth, transcendence, is never subject to the understanding of imperfect sensory endeavor, nor is he subject to direct experience. He is the master of varieties of energies, like the full material energy, and no one can understand his plans or actions. Therefore, it should be concluded that although he is the original cause of all causes, no one can know him by mental speculation. Purport: the question may be raised, since there are so many varieties of philosophers theorizing in different ways, which of them is correct? The answer is that the absolute truth, transcendence, is never subject to direct experience or mental speculation. The mental speculators may be called Dr. Frog. The story is that a frog in a 3-foot well wanted to calculate the length and breadth of Atlantic Ocean on the basis of his knowledge of his own well. but it was an impossible task for Dr. Frog. A person may be great academician, scholar or professor, but he cannot speculate and expect to understand the absolute truth, for his senses are limited. The cause of all causes, the absolute truth, can be known from absolute truth himself, and not by our ascending process to reach him. When the sun is not visible at night, or when it is covered by a cloud in a day, it is not possible to uncover it, either by bodily or mental strength or by scientific instruments, although the sun is there in the sky. No one can say that he has discovered a torchlight so powerful that if one goes on a roof and focuses the torchlight on the night sky, the sun will then be seen. There is no such torchlight, nor it is possible. The word avyakta, unmanifested, in this verse indicates that the absolute truth cannot be manifested by any strain of so-called scientific advancement of knowledge. Transcendence is not the subject matter of direct experience. The absolute truth may be known in the same way as the sun covered by a cloud or covered by night. For when the sun rises in the morning in its own way, then everyone can see the sun, everyone can see the world, and everyone can see himself. This understanding of self-realization is called Atma Tattva. Unless, however, one comes to this point of understanding Atma Tattva, one remains in the darkness in which he was born. Under the circumstances, no one can understand the plan of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The world is equipped with varieties of energies as stated in Vedic literature. Parasya Sakti Vividhaiva Shriyate. The Lord is equipped with varieties of energies as stated in Vedic literatures. Parasya Sakti Vividhaiva Shriyate. He is equipped with the energy of external time. He is equipped with the energy of eternal time. Not, not only does he have the material energy which we see and experience, but he has also many reserve energies that he can manifest in due course of time when necessary. The material scientist can simply study the partial understanding of the varieties of energies. He can take up one of these energies and try to understand it with limited knowledge, but still it is not possible to understand the absolute truth in full by dint of material science. No material science can foretell what is going to happen in the future. The Bhakti Yoga process, however, is completely different from so-called scientific advancement of knowledge. A devotee completely surrenders unto the Supreme, who reveals himself by his causeless mercy. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. The Lord says, I give him intelligence. What is that intelligence? Yen Mam Upayanti Te. The Lord gives one the intelligence to cross over the ocean of nescience and come back home, back to Godhead. In conclusion, the cause of all causes, the absolute truth or the supreme Brahman, cannot be understood by philosophical speculation, but he reveals himself to his devotee, because the devotee fully surrenders unto his lotus feet. Bhagavad Gita is therefore to be accepted as a revealed scripture spoken by absolute truth himself when he descended to this planet. Bhagavad Gita is therefore to be accepted as a revealed scripture spoken by the absolute truth himself when he descended to this planet. If any intelligent man wants to know what God is, he should study this transcendental literature under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. Then it is very easy to understand Krishna as he is. Om Tat Sat Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yatkripatamaham bande Sri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. It is said that absolute truth is never subjected to understanding of imperfect sensory endeavor, nor is he subjected to direct experience. So, Adi Sankaracharya, he took sannyas at very early age. He was just 8 years old somehow he convinced his mother, and then he walked out of the house and he traveled and came to Sringeri Mutt, where very great learned scholar Govindapad, Sri Govindapad, he was staying in a cave, was doing his meditation, and he went to him and sat down in front of him. After some time, when Govindapad opened his eyes, he asked, "Who are you? Who are you?" Then he replied, "I am not Chitis, I am not sky, I am not Jal, I am not water, neither I am air, nor fire, nor earth, nor I am my mind. I am different from all this." His Sri Govindapad became very, very satisfied with his answer. And he asked him, "Please accept me as your disciple. I have come to take instructions from you." Then he accepted him as his disciple and gave him sannyas, and he gave him name. His earlier name was Sankara, and then he called him, you will be called hereafter Sankaracharya. And then he gave him the teachings of Vedanta and his understanding. So he taught him Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. But how this Brahman was explained by Sankaracharya, that all the soul, even the matter, they are all one. We are all of the same nature. We are all Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. That now, due to the effect of Maya, we are all got different forms. But as soon as we realize and become liberated, we'll all be same one. That's how he understood. So when Prabhupada is also writing in Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, that people realize I am Atma. That is the self-realization, that people realize I am Atma. It's, generally people have this understanding, I am Atma. You see, most of people will understand we are not the body, we are Atma. But they will make a mistake to identify Atma and Paramatma both. They think that Atma and Paramatma both are one. Because to understand Paramatma is, even higher studies. And how we can understand, Prabhupada is explaining in the purport that one can understand Paramatma, absolute truth, in association of devotees. In a parampara only one can understand this. And here it's also mentioned that the Lord is not subjected to direct sensory perception. When the soul cannot be directly seen, we cannot see the soul, we cannot touch the soul, we cannot so hear the soul. The soul is it is beyond the sense, beyond the senses. Therefore, the sense soul is also called avyakta, unmanifested. Avyakta. The absolute truth is also called avyakta. The nature of absolute truth or the soul is Satchidananda, full of eternity, knowledge, bliss. But we cannot have an experience through sensory perceptions or mental speculations even. Can never understand. So how we can understand? Evam parampara praptam. We can understand in a bona fide disciplic succession. We can understand when it is revealed to us. We can just perceive it. We all understand we are soul. We are not the body. As Sankaracharya, on his strength of his mental speculation, he was a very great scholar and very thoughtful person, but he made mistake to understand soul and super soul and everything is one only. We can never go beyond the capacity, intelligence he had. We can so it's only possible to understand the absolute truth as he is revealed Prabhupada is writing, as the Lord reveals himself in Bhagavad Gita, we can know him. So uh, I was talking to one visitor. He came on Sunday night. So he was asking, who am I? So uh, I can understand that I am not this body, but who am I? Again, I explained to him that we can understand who are we only through the Bhagavad Gita, where the Lord is describing that we are soul. We can understand we are not the body, but who are we? Can understand is revealed by the Lord that you are soul. Ehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tatha dehantar praptir dhiras tatana muhyati na jatasya dhuvo mityur dhruva janma mitasya cha. So Krishna is explaining the nature of the soul, and we are all soul. So this the soul itself is not, we cannot understand through our imperfect sensory endeavor. Then what to speak about the absolute truth? Absolute truth is cause of all causes. We can see everything is existing, is coming from him. He is the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhava. So we, the to ourself itself we cannot know from the sensory endeavor. How we can know the whole? It is not possible to know the whole by imperfect sensory endeavor. It is because the senses has got defects. 4 defects are there. They are limited and get tendency to get illusion, cheating propensity, and making mistake. So these are defects every conditioned souls has. So it is not possible to know with these senses. Through pratyaksha or through anumana, we can never know about the absolute truth. Can never come to any conclusion. There are so many philosophies because there are so many thoughtful persons where they have presented different types of philosophies. But still, no one can be sure about the nature of absolute truth. We can be sure only when absolute truth reveals himself. Therefore, Vedas, which is given by the Lord directly to Lord Brahmaji, is called Aparusheya, because it's coming from the Lord himself, who is not subjected to this 4 defects which an ordinary living entity has. So absolute truth, transcendence, is never subjected to understanding of imperfect sensory endeavor, nor is he subject to direct experience. He is the master of varieties of energies, like the full material energy, and no one can understand his plans or actions. Therefore, it should be concluded that although he is original cause of all causes, no one can know him by mental speculation. So Prabhupada gives an analogy of a frog can never understand the size of the Atlantic Ocean. How much ever he tries and speculate, he will always fail. It's not possible at all. The reason why it is not possible, because the frog is very small and Atlantic Ocean is very, very big. So we are all infinitesimal. The living entity, we are infinitesimal. And the Lord is infinite. What measurement we will take from infinite to infinitesimal to infinite to measure that? It is not possible. Said the living entity's size is explained, the soul size is explained, the 10,000 part of the tip of the hair. So it's like, you can say, almost dimensionless. It's like a point. So it is not possible to understand the absolute truth by the conditioned soul. Not possible. In Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Sundar ki Jai. Even Lord Brahma says, as far as I am concerned, I do not know about you. In Bhagavatam it is mentioned that Lord Brahma accepts that I do not know about you. Then who else can know? So no one can know about the Lord. The Lord himself is surprised. Every moment his qualities are increased, and he himself is surprised about his uh, uh, unlimited nature, about his sweet qualities. The Lord himself is bewildered. So the word of Vyaktan manifested in this verse indicates that absolute truth cannot be manifested by any strain of so-called scientific advancement of knowledge. The transcendence is not the subject matter of direct experience. The absolute truth may be known in the same way as the sun covered by cloud or covered by night. So this is an example Prabhupada is giving, that uh, one Dr. Frog example he gave that he can never know. Another example is telling that if the sun is is set or it's covered by cloud, how much ever we put our endeavor, we can never see the sun. On our own effort, we can never see the sun. Prabhupada is saying no one can order in the night, oh sun, now you should rise. Hmm? Or the cloud is there, we can put torchlight through the cloud and see the sun. It is not possible, it is impossible. Similarly, the absolute truth, uh, we cannot know on our own endeavor. Therefore, one should be very humble to understand the absolute truth. The humility is not there. The Lord is not uh, uh, subjected to our demand to reveal Himself. He is so great, and He is not obliged. He is not subjected to reveal Himself. So it's His causeless mercy that He reveals Himself to us. Therefore, this whole process of Bhakti Yoga is surrender. One has to very humbly approach the Lord. To spiritual master, representative of the absolute truth is approached in similar way. Out of humility, when the Lord is pleased with us, then He reveals Himself. Similarly, the spiritual master, when he is pleased with us, he reveals the absolute truth. So it's very, very important to be humble. We cannot in Bhakti Yoga, we cannot say because we offering one coconut to the Lord, he should come in front of us. That the Lord doesn't need our coconut, and He is not even also obliged to tell about Himself. It's only the Lord's mercy only. So this understanding of self-realization is called Atma Tattva. Unless, however, one comes to this point of understanding Atma Tattva, one remains in the darkness in which he was born. Under the circumstances, no one can understand the plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is equipped with varieties of energies as stated in Vedic literature. Parasa Sakti Vibhidhaiva Shruyate. So, the Lord has got varieties of energies. External energy, internal energy, it is broadly classified in three: external, internal and marginal energies. So the Lord has infinite energies and He performs infinite actions to these energies. He does all wonderful activities to energies, to His own energies. So the absolute truth is understood in three different levels. We all know that Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. The Brahman is the initial stage where we understand that there is some supernatural power who is running, governing the whole of cosmic arrangements. It is not uh, it's not all done on its own. There is some power. That is, even a layman will conclude that some power is there who is doing this. So that power understanding is Brahman realization. But the furthermore higher realization is, from where this power is coming, who is the source of this power. This source of the power is present everywhere. He is simultaneously present everywhere. And then people realize the presence of the Lord as Paramatma everywhere, inside atom, inside living entity. So that understanding is Brahman realization. Then further when one advances in his spiritual life, he understands the transcendental qualities of the Lord, and then he becomes attracted towards him, and he starts experiencing or starts establishing his relationship with the Lord. So out of this relationship, he starts experiencing different kinds of transcendental mellows. He starts experiencing bliss. So that is a ultimate realization, Bhagavan. So Paramatma, Brahman realization, one understands one's eternity, that it is we are of transcendental nature, we are eternal, and by Paramatma realizations, one understands knowledge, that how things are happening. Then by through Bhagwan realization, one actually experiences the happiness, which transcendental happiness. So Brahman realization is most perfect. So the Lord has multifarious energies. Even Brahma Samhita, it is said the Lord has so many different types of energies, and the Lord is having wonderful qualities. We can see that and Sukadeva Goswami, he heard about transcendental qualities of the Lord. He was immediately attracted towards that. He was situated completely on Brahman platform, understanding that he is not the body, he is a soul. He was understanding this. He was not at all attached to matter. Even you see that how Sankaracharya, he renounced everything at early age. There are many great acharyas who have done that. They are not attached to this material world because they understand they are not the body, they are the soul. The sense gratification is only sort of cheating to ourselves. Can never be, senses will never be satisfied. So they are not body and they are not the senses. So why unnecessarily get inside this illusion for having sense gratification? So so they give up the sense gratification. Even on Brahman realizations, it is the sense gratification is given up. It is waste of time, simply waste of time. I am not the body, I am different from the body, and why to get into some illusory pleasure? Like Krishna told Arjuna, see, you are thinking that you are going to kill these fighters, all Bhismacharya, Dronacharya, but the soul, they are not going to be killed. The soul is eternal. The soul cannot be cut by weapons, cannot be burned by fire. And he said, okay, if at all you don't believe in the soul also, and you are thinking that they are body, then also you should not lament, because it is sure that this body will fall down. Patanti avashyam adha. Therefore, definitely it will fall down. So why you should uh, you should uh, you should deviate from following your duty. You should practice your duty. Why you should give up your duty? If you think that their body also, body will, anyway it will fall down. And if you because he's saying Mahabahu, you are from uh, Arya, you are Arya, who understand the values of life, who is understand goal of life, following the Vedic scriptures. So you are broadly intelligent, you broad minded. So you understand that you are no we are all soul. Then why you should at all lament? You should not lament. So on the Brahman platform itself, this renunciation is there. So Sukadeva Goswami, he was completely situated on transcendental platform. Still he was attracted by the transcendental qualities of the Lord, because so the Lord, absolute truth, uh, in his Bhagwan feature, he is so sweet. The Lord is so sweet. When as soon as we hear about his qualities, this is not material activities, or some material qualities. This this is this how the absolute truth, the Lord is there. The transcendence is there. That we all have relationship with him. Just that since our uh, we are covered by illusion, through the false ego, we are misidentifying ourselves with body, and we are forgetful about our relationship with the Lord. That therefore we are not able to realize this. But Sukadeva Goswami was not like that. He was already situated on Brahman absolute platform, or not material platform. He's not thinking himself as body. But he also not had any understanding of personal aspect of the Lord. But as soon as he heard uh, uh, from the uh, authorized place, he immediately was attracted. So that is the nature of absolute truth. अंतरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, पतित पांच प्रभुपाद की जय.